Hey, what's up with y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's the boy Terrell, Matheny, and I can bout that life. And right now, I got my boy.
Kwanza life. It's about that cultural life.
Always
about that grinding life, that making it happen life, that next level life. That's my man. That's an example of what it takes to be successful. You got to get your grind on. You got to push. You got to keep pushing through it until you get to it. That's my man.
You heard what he said. I don't even got nothing else to say. Woo! Y'all know what it is. Brother Jeff, we going all the way in. Let's go.
There you go. It's an amazing day. It's the second day of Kwanza, Kuji Chagalia, which means self-determination. And I'm with my man Terrell. Now, when you talk about self-determination, as an artist, as a man, as an influencer, he's grinding all of the time. He's got a new project that you're gonna be putting out. T, what you been up to, bro?
How you doing, Brother Jeff? How you doing? Good?
It's good, bro.
Happy holidays. I've been grinding. I just got back from Puerto Penasco, Mexico, shooting a follow-up film from the superhero film Operation Hope. Hope hasn't came out yet because we wanted to get the sequel. So now we have 2 movies that we're sitting on. So we're sitting on 2 feature films. Just got back from Mexico. It was really fun. It was an experience that I will be talking about forever.
I think that's so. From here, I would like to give tours of the Style Center. Did I forget? You're Kwanza 101. Did I forget anything? We did the libation. Can you give us the name of the mat? What's the name of the mat?
Mkeka.
Mkeka. So we have a mat up here, which is Mkeka. And these mats were actually made by my mother. My mother, Grace Stiles, who started the African American Heritage Center, she's 91. Can you imagine that? She's 91 years old. And she would love to be here today, but she's probably taking a nap. She said a lot. She made the mkeka. And what do we call the fruits? What are the fruits called?
Pull those lyrics up in your phones if you got your phones.
And then next year you have to have it memorized. That's your homework.
All 3 verses.
All 3 verses. All right.
Verses.
Ashe.
All right, everyone, here we go.
Oh, that's good.
On as the rolling sea,
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Sing a rising past till now we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast. Well done, well done. The last one, we're gonna hold it and then just release that energy, and that's the pulling together. So,
Are you ready, little ones?
Harambe! 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 Harambe!
break it down.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Americans Are Rich. And I'm like, no. It is not what you see on the internet. I will tell you the truth. And so this is what I do. And this is my story of self-determination. I had a bad day at work. And I went home and I Googled how to leave America and make money. And I bought a one-way ticket and I left with 2 suitcases. They can't keep that, or they can?
They can.
They can.
They can. They can have the fruit. If they, no. I bought it from the. I don't eat all that, but yeah. And plus, they may not like. We have little mini sandwiches in there.
There's Charlene Jordan.
Oh, okay. You want to talk?
You
because we're live and we get to just
Oh, you're
follow your
live.
tour.
Wow. Okay, so welcome to the Styles African American Heritage Center. Some of you guys have been on the tour before, which is good. This was started by my mother, Grace Styles, and that's her picture over there on the wall. She realized that the kids were not getting enough African American education during their schooling in different public schools. So in the 1990s, she purchased these two buildings and made them into the for them to eat was to pick cotton. So she picked a lot of cotton, and you know, so of course your fingers get all cut up and stuff from picking cotton. And so this is actually cotton that we were in Texas one year, and she actually pulled over and grabbed this guy's cotton. I thought we were gonna be arrested or something, you know, out in this field. So basically, back in the day, it wasn't unusual for a black man to have a quota of 700 pounds of cotton, to pick 700 pounds in one day. You know, so what he'd do is he'd add rocks to his sack, his burlap bag, which you can see in the picture there, and then he'd also wet it down, because if you wet it down, then it would weigh more. And the in there, okay. Now we're gonna come upstairs, and we have kind of a large group here, but I'm at the African American Heritage Center. This is Jocko at the top of the stairs. Yep, come on up. We're just gonna get. You know how you do with little kids? You want to give them something to do to keep them busy? He said, "You hold the light until we get back." Jocko literally froze to death holding the light. So George Washington, to commemorate Jocko, he put a small-scale model statue of Jocko on his front lawn. And Jocko was black. That's why he's painted that way. He's painted in blackface because that's how they painted black people. It wasn't meaning to be derogatory. He was commemorating Jocko. Of course, it was taken out of context. You know, a lot of other people put Jockos in their front yard for other reasons. But originally, that was his mom. Anyway, now we can all fit in here. Let's go into the Black Inventors Room.
I think that's the reflection of
This
how
is
they
the
try
Black
to tell our
Inventors
story.
Room.
They
Everything
never
here
do.
is the famous boxer Jack Johnson. He invented the monkey wrench. You know, we did a lot. So I was giving a tour to a bunch of people like you guys, and we had a crescent wrench up here, you know, us being females. And somebody said, "Wait a minute, that's not the right wrench, because Jack Johnson was my cousin. So we will give you the right wrench."
Wow.
And so this was actually donated by his family, this wrench. We know that whole story. So this is the phonograph. This was invented by an African American, except the needle was not. The bicycle frame, which when I gave the kids tour, some kids said they needed a bicycle, so I don't know which one that one was. You guys can figure that out, not my kids. This is the inkwell, the golf tee, the wagon, the mailbox, the railroad crossing.
Like the whisk?
Yeah, the whisk, all those
Say
kitchen tools. Because we spend a lot of time in the kitchen. If we could figure a way to make it easier
That's right.
and save time, we were going to do it, and that's exactly what we did. Something that's behind, you know, to make this, you know, as we continue on. She actually had examined that. Those are actual patents by Terry Young. You remember last year, Brother Jeff?
Yes.
Yes, he came last year to our Kwanza last year.
There he is.
And there he is, and those are his patents. I met him at a meeting, for an engineering meeting, and I said, "I bet you've invented some stuff." He goes, "Yeah, I have patents." I said, "Where are your actual plaques? Where are your patents?" He said, "Oh, they're in the back of a closet somewhere." I'm like, "No way." I said, we'd love to invented the peanut, but he invented peanut butter. He invented a lot of different things with the use of peanut butter. He invented different colors of paint. He did a lot. He was quite the inventor. Something else he did that kept America.
Right.
Do you know what this says, Auntie?
An antenna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it on your TV.
So basically, he also invented a way to rotate crops, so that you could, if you plant corn one year and plant something else the next year, you can get more of a yield from your crops. So that helped to keep America great as well. Also next to him, we have Garrett Morgan. So he invented the yellow that was in the middle.
Wow.
He also invented the gas mask, which you see there in the corner. And the interesting thing about the gas mask is there are white people that wouldn't wear his gas mask because they wouldn't wear something invented by a black person.
Well, to their demise.
Only more of them could have been like that.
There's that.
First almanac. And he was, in the very first issue of his almanac, he was afraid that, he wrote a letter to Thomas Jefferson telling him to abolish slavery, because Benjamin Banneker, even though he was born during slavery days, he was not a slave because his parents weren't slaves. So that's what he wrote a letter to everybody knows about Harriet Tubman. But my favorite saying that Harriet Tubman said was, "I freed over 700 slaves, and I would have freed many more if they'd only known they were slaves." You have to keep in mind, there's slavery in America for over 400 years. But black people were slaves in America longer than we've been free. So she'd show up at the plantation to free people, and they're like, "What do you mean, free me? You know, I don't get that." To me, I equate it to somebody showing up at your door today saying, "Let's go to Mars." I'm here to get you. All right, let's go to Mars. You guys will go, wait, what do you mean go to Mars? I'm not going to Mars. That's Harriet Tubman. And so and she freed a lot of people.
Or it's also like saying, hey, you know you can vote.
He was born a slave, but his dad was the owner. You know, so that happened a lot. So you can see, so he's got some Caucasian features as well. And so, but his dad was a different kind of slave owner. He didn't believe he didn't believe in enslaving his own kids. So what he would do is every few years, because he had a bunch of kids, he'd free his kids, he'd free his wife, so he grew up free. This one's actually called the Monkey Wrench, and this was donated to us by the Washtenaw Quilting Guild, which is an African-American quilting guild here, local quilting
I
guild.
like how you look back at the monkey wrench.
Yeah, the Monkey Wrench is called the Monkey Wrench.
Connection.
Yeah, and this was also donated to us from the Washtenaw Quilters Guild, and you may know some of these are African symbols, and you may know some of those.
Can you talk about the symbol in the middle?
I don't know it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know it, Brother Jeff?
It's been appropriated.
What is it? I wouldn't say she's happy. People weren't happy, but she was married. She had a bunch of kids. Her mom was on the plantation. Everything was going okay, and then the owner ended up dying, and he wasn't financially solvent. So they had to sell everybody, and rather than keeping the family together, everybody was sold apart. You know, so her kids, she separated from her kids, from her husband, from everybody. So she then slavery was abolished, and then what do you do when what happened with people when slavery was abolished? They didn't get the 40 acres and a mule.
No.
They didn't have
Still ain't
anything.
got it.
So she thought, what am I gonna do? I want to find my family. And my volunteers put up a better light. My mother had a little light bulb hanging there. It wasn't, 'cause she didn't want to give them any light. She didn't want to shine anything on them. But that picture of the three champs, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and who's the other one? Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, and
George Foreman.
George Foreman. The person who took the picture actually gave that to us. He goes, "Oh, you need to have that in your center." So he said that's the only one like that. So
That's nice.
yeah.
I remember when they was like
Yeah,
that.
I remember it was
Had
Yeah,
the
that the
sombrero.
poster of the three
I remember
amigos.
that, yeah.
My mother and my sister stood in line for hours in the hot sun to get us. So I'm putting that up in my center because I. So this room is a continuation of everything. You know, Bessie Coleman, she was the first Native American / African American pilot. And I don't know if you guys know Jacqueline Withers. She's an artist who created this. She was our very first artist in residence here at the center. And she has a Fly Boys and Fly Girls program where the kids actually learn how to fly. You know, she just had an 18-year-old who got her pilot's license before she got her driver's license.
Wow.
You know, so if you guys are interested in that, see me afterwards because we house that at Epworth United Methodist Church. And of course, C.J. Walker's great-great-granddaughter. My mother's a huge man of C.J. Walker fan.
I think the tape.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You can even lay it down if you want. It's fine. My mother's a huge man of C.J. Walker fan. We actually went to man of C.J. Walker's house in Irvington, New York.
This is where she lived.
Hey, what's up with y'all? Y'all know that it's the boy Terrell Matheny about that life, and we just came to tell us where we was at.
We're at the Styles African American Heritage Center right here in historic Five Points. And if you want to know your history, it's inside.
It is
And
inside.
it's accessible.
Yes, man, I just learned so much about black culture. We literally have pioneered so many different things that are used today.